Hi, I'm Gerardo. I'm here with the Mass readings for Thursday, October 19th, 2017. Today we celebrate the memorial of Saints John de Brebeuf and Isaac Jogues, priests and companions and martyrs of the Church, from the Lectionary 470. The first reading is from the book of Romans, chapter 3, verses 21 through 30. Brothers and sisters, now the righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law. Though testified by the law and the prophets, the righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. For there is no distinction. All have sinned and are deprived of the glory of God. They are justified freely by His grace, through the redemption in Christ Jesus, whom God set forth as an expiation, through faith, by His blood, to prove His righteousness, because of the forgiveness of sins previously committed, through the forbearance of God, to prove His righteousness in the present time, that He might be righteous and justify the one who has faith in Jesus. What occasion is there then for boasting? It is ruled out. On what principle? That of works? No, rather on the principle of faith. For we consider that a person is justified by faith, apart from works of the law. Does God belong to Jews alone? Does He not belong to Gentiles too? Yes, also to Gentiles. For God is one, and will justify the circumcised on the basis of faith, and the uncircumcised through faith. The word of the Lord. The responsorial psalm. Today's responsorial psalm is Psalm 130. The response is, "With the Lord there is mercy and fullness of redemption." With the Lord there is mercy and fullness of redemption. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to my voice in supplication. With the Lord there is mercy and fullness of redemption. If you, O Lord, mark iniquities, Lord, who can stand? But with you is forgiveness, that you may be revered. With the Lord there is mercy and fullness of redemption. I trust in the Lord. My soul trusts in His word. My soul waits for the Lord, more than sentinels wait for the dawn. With the Lord there is mercy and fullness of redemption. Today's gospel is the gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 11, verses 47 through 54. The Lord said, "Woe to you who build the memorials of the prophets whom your fathers killed. Consequently, you bear witness and give consent to the deeds of your ancestors, for they killed them, and you do the building. Therefore, the wisdom of God said, I will send to them prophets and apostles. Some of them they will kill and persecute, in order that this generation might be charged with the blood of all the prophets shed since the foundation of the world. From the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah, who died between the altar and the temple building. Yes, I tell you, this generation will be charged with their blood. Woe to you, scholars of the law! You have taken away the key of knowledge. You yourselves did not enter, and you stopped those trying to enter." When Jesus left, the scribes and Pharisees began to act with hostility toward Him and to interrogate Him about many things, for they were plotting to catch Him at something He might say. The Gospel of the Lord. The reflection. What does Jesus mean in the first part of today's Gospel where He says, "Woe to you who build the memorials of the prophets whom your fathers killed. Consequently, you bear witness and give consent to the deeds of your ancestors, for they killed them, and you do the building." Well, what Jesus means is that the Pharisees build memorials of the prophets, probably as an act of atonement, the reconciliation between man and God. But the problem is that the Pharisees have not changed. They have the same attitudes as their ancestors. There's no atonement. Later in the Gospel, Jesus says, "You have taken away the key of knowledge. You yourselves did not enter, and you stopped those trying to enter." What does Jesus mean here? The Pharisees interpret the law in such a way that they make it inaccessible to the ordinary person. And what is worse, they do not observe it themselves. Mark puts it this way in his Gospel, chapter 23, verse 13. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut the kingdom of heaven against men, for you neither enter yourselves or allow those who would enter to go in. I think we should personalize today's gospel and examine our own lives. Are we living a double life? Are we making sure we practice what we preach? And also, are we preventing others from accessing God because of what we preach and how we preach it? Are we making it impossible for others to know or begin to know God? Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.